Welcome back. There is a new wave of undocumented immigrants seeking overnight shelter at Sacred Heart Church. The spike has come over the last couple of weeks, but how do those numbers compare to last year? Action Force Ashley Custer explains.
Probably a month ago, we were looking at maybe 20 sometimes or less, but then all of a sudden we got 100 people staying overnight or 60 people overnight. So we had a large number of variations of people, so we had to start making those accommodations.
The numbers have increased, this couple of days, this couple of weeks, but not as many as last year.
According to Ramirez, the capacity is about half of what it was last year.
We're looking at about, let's say, 100 to 120 people a day. Last year we're about 200 to 250 or higher sometimes.
But it never hurts to plan ahead.
Now, 2 of these temporary tent shelters have gone up over at Sacred Heart Church to accommodate the influx of people needing to spend the night. Now we're being told that this space can comfortably hold 50 and even up to 80 people.
Should we have a spike of a higher number, we already have the space available. But right now, if you go and see, they're empty, both of them. And because nobody stays beyond 1 day. If somebody stays beyond 1 day, it's because maybe we had a more difficult time finding them, their families to purchase their ticket, and so they may stay an additional day or two.
Ramirez and Sister Pimentel explained that recently some of the immigrants have been showing up at Sacred Heart that have had to spend the night because of trouble buying a bus ticket for that same day. It's the relatives of the immigrants who are responsible for paying and arranging these travel tickets. And U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that, quote, there were recent instances where while ICE contacted family members, confirmation of ticketed travel was not received, end quote. However, ICE says it is now again checking confirmation and travel itineraries before releasing people from custody. Sister Pimentel says that while she doesn't anticipate the number of immigrant families reaching last year's figures, the extra sleeping area is welcomed.
To make sure we are prepared should we need the space for them to stay, especially also because mostly we've had moms with their children, and most recently we've seen more dads with their children. So we want to make sure maybe we could separate them and keep the men in one tent and the women in another tent.
In McAllen, Ashley Custer, Action 4 News.
Anyone who would like to volunteer their time or donate much needed items like shoes or clothing can stop by the church at 306 South 15th Street or call Catholic Charities at 702-4088.